Mr. McBride. Present. We do have a quorum. If everyone will please stand, I'd like to ask Mr. Ford, our county attorney, to offer invocation and Mr. Clyde to lead our pledge of allegiance.
Let's pray. God, our Father in heaven, we come before you again with our heads bowed and our knees bent. God, we're thankful for your watching over this community each and every day. We're thankful for the men and women who serve us so willingly as public servants and especially in law enforcement. God, we pray for those that are serving us locally, those that serve our state, those that serve us in our nation and indeed around the world, to keep us safe, to help us each and every day, and to provide good citizenship models to us. God, we're thankful for these men and women. We pray you'll watch over them and guide them and be with their families. We ask all these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In your packet is the agenda for tonight's meeting. We have 3 items in our new business portion of the meeting, and we have 4 areas of discussion in the work session scheduled for tonight. With that, do I have a motion to approve the agenda for the August 11th, 2025 Jackson County Commission meeting?
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion, have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We do have one presentation tonight, one very important presentation tonight. So let me turn the floor over to Chair Parker.
Yeah, we just want to take this opportunity to promote a new jail captain after Angie got promoted to chief, left that vacancy, and we interviewed all of our lieutenants, and Wyatt Lee was selected as our new jail captain. He's young. He doesn't have a whole lot of years with us, but after interviewing him and knowing the supervisory skills he has, he was the obvious choice for this job. And we just want to say congratulations. We know you're going to do a great job. And Angie would like to present you with a badge. Thank you.
We all stand. So
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
please.
see these
Absolutely.
mission guys.
You just suck it in or what? You got that picture, you take care of it.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. And, don't think we have any public comments tonight.
Good luck.
If not, we'll move into the new business portion of our meeting. First item is you have in the packet the minutes from July the 8th, 2025 budget hearing and the July the 10th budget hearing. And also you have the minutes from the July the 13th meeting and work session. I'll give you a second, a little bit of time to look over those. With that, do I have a motion to adopt the minutes for the July the 8th, 2025 budget hearing, the July the 10th, 2025 budget hearing, and the July the 14th, 2025 meeting and work session?
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. At our last meeting, our county engineer, Mr. Campbell, presented the 2026 rebuild Alabama County Transportation Plan that we are required to approve by the end of this month. So we're going to go over to our county engineer, Mr. Campbell, to discuss another a couple of commissioners that were not here last meeting. So.
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners. I would be pleased to answer any questions you may have. Just as a quick recap, this is a mandatory requirement from the 2019 Rebuild Alabama Act that passed. It's part of our transparency commitment with that law that we post the transportation plan, and there are several follow-up postings that go along with that to show where the money was spent, expenditures, et cetera. So this, in summary, is what we anticipate doing. We're the first round of the SS4A. As you all recall, that commitment of our Rebuild Alabama Act funds and the Federal Aid Exchange Fund is our match for that first round.
Okay, any questions? If not,
Well, I do. Estimated timeline of completion on this front.
So that would ultimately begin on, depending on when we could start that SS4A. This is a 1 year plan. So there are 4 years of that construction phase. Please remember though, that we will be in a preliminary phase on the initial part. So there'll be some time, even once there's agreement, once there's between both parties signed and notice to proceed, there'll be a design phase that has to start. So the plan is that once we get through that initial design, environmental, all those things that come along with that, and we get into construction, as the construction is ongoing, so will design on subsequent projects. So hopefully year one is what we're looking at.
And the reason I ask is because it is confusing for people to go, oh, such and such road got approved, they'll be paving tomorrow.
Yes.
No, they won't be paving tomorrow, but just so that and I know you don't want to commit to a date for obvious reasons because it's a lot of it out of your control. I just want to be mindful of that we're communicating, that we're planning for the future in this.
Thank you for pointing that out. It is coming, but we can't guarantee that all this work will be completed in 2020.
any other questions, comments? If not, we have a motion to approve the FY 2026 Rebuild Alabama County Transportation Plan. We have a motion, we have a second. Second. We have a second. Any further questions? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Last item in the new business portion, got to call from Ms. Laurel, with the Regional Vice President of Development for the Liberty Learning Foundation. As you know, each year we make a contribution to that. And she did send the information that is in your packet. She has a letter again requesting for the 2025-2026 school year funding support from the county. We have supported this program, I think, since its inception here in the county. And last year, our support for the program was funding of $3,400. We have been hopefully that requesting that we again support with $3,400. She did provide this year on page 4 is a breakout of each of the schools and the allocation of funds per school for the 14 county schools and 3 schools in the city of Scottsboro. The proposal will be to approve this tonight, but the money will come next year. We fund the money in October. So, any questions? If not, do I have a motion to approve funding support Liberty Learning in the amount of $3,400?
Make the motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Second. We have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. We'll move now into the work session portion of our agenda. The first is the discussion of Scottsboro Airport expansion, and would like to invite Mr. Laurel Williams with the airport board to discuss this. There's 2 pages of information in your packet. One is the Scottsboro Municipal Airport Hangar Project, which is what this project is about, is the new hangar, and the projected cost with the requested funding support from agencies for this project. The next is information. It is the current trial of balance of our Fund 20, which is the Jackson County's Industrial Development Fund. So that, right?
Well, thank you, Bill, and Commissioners. I'm glad to be able to speak to you about this. And I brought a couple of individuals with me, Corey, who is manager of our Scottsboro Airport, who comes to us well qualified. I had the privilege of finding him through another air traffic controller when I was coming back from Knoxville one night, Chattanooga. I told him we got to know each other pretty good. I made some trips up there, and he told me, he said, everything's going all right at Scottsboro. I said, well, we don't have a manager right now. And there's certain qualifications we need to have a manager right there. You know, there's a lot of responsibility in handling aircraft and doing the paperwork for the FAA and just maintaining the airport. Because when people come in an aircraft, they're usually coming in for business, and the first person they're going to see is free. So, you know, he's been a good addition to our airport as manager. And he, like I say, he was ATC for the Army, and he also operated a tower in military and also handled general aviation too. So that makes a difference too. And then I brought Chris Horton, who is president of Horton Aviation, who I was affiliated with 6 years ago, helping him get a place to work. He was working out hangars, individual hangars out there. And he asked me one day, he said, can I get a place to work? And I said, yeah, I'll get you in a maintenance hangar. We had 3 or 4 old aircraft in there. We was probably getting $75 a month total out of them. And we got them. I said, if you'll help me drag them out, we'll put you in there. And we put him in there. And he's been there 6 years. How many people you got employed? Right? 11. And 3 of those just started here recently, didn't they? Because I've been telling him what I've been working on. I need to get him more space. There's 8,000 square foot there. And he's backed up out on the tarmac and backed up all the way down on the south end where we tire up high up plane. So he definitely needs more room. And he's, like I say, 11 employees making probably 70 to 75,000 an employee. That's pretty good. So they're high paying jobs and they're high tech jobs. And he's IA, which he, some of them that he's got in there that he just hired is working toward getting that away, and he can sign them off and, you know, check their work. And my plane's in the shop right now. He's doing an annual on it. Hopefully he understands that I'm spending a lot of time on it for him, and that he'll do it real good when he hands me the bill. No pressure, you know.
You got to let me off.
But he does. He's real firm with his bills. But it's so nice to have maintenance at Scottsboro, which we have never had before that I can remember. It has done all the legal work, and he has his own insurance, and he has insurance to get the city and indemnify them from anything that they do. So, like I say, he started out at just a hangar at somebody's airplane was, and now he's probably turned it into gross. I don't know. I'd be afraid to say it's millions, I'd say, in gross, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. He's a young entrepreneur, and we appreciated having him there. He asked me about a year ago that he needed more space, and I told him I'd work on it. I'm also heavily involved in EDA. I've been on the EDA board close to 24 years. I'm vice chairman of it. I have participated a lot in funding, going up into Washington, a lot of it on my own dime, to get money for a lot of economic development that we've done in the county and also in Scottsboro. And Scottsboro's in the county, and so it's the county is in Scottsboro. So I mean, it's a lot of times I'm a transplant down here, and I hear people say, "Well, you're from Bridgeport, you know. Now you're Scottsboro, so you're Scottsboro." I'm a whole county, Scottsboro. I consider the courthouse is here in the county courthouse is in the city of Scottsboro. So I have made it an endeavor of mine to try to make sure that everybody understands that the county is in courthouse in Scottsboro. We all work together. The dollars, work together. So just wanted to make that clear that I'm Scottsboro. I'm also county. I was born and raised in the county, born and raised in Bridgeport, lived there for 54 years, started a business down here. Started it in 1988 and sold it in 2008. I have been able to dedicate more time to economic development. So all that just kind of gives you a synopsis of what I'm here for right now. I told him I would give him more space. Well, we rocked on, we worked with TBA and Nathan and Karen did, and we thought we were going to get funded by them, and they said we didn't have enough frontage to bring in tractors and trailers for the hangar. I don't know what they were talking about there, because last time I looked, we landed our airplanes that come in here on the runway. You know, we got plenty of runway to land planes on. They'd be coming into the maintenance hangar. But they wanted it to evolve in, you know, I don't know, must have been trucks or something. We waited and waited and waited on it. Finally, they said they didn't know if they could come up with that or not, unless we could get more highway frontage. And we do have more highway frontage, but I don't see where that entails working on the frontage to get aircraft into the hangar. We've already got space dedicated to build a 10,000 square foot hangar. We could put a 12,000 square foot hangar there and another 12,000 square foot hangar right beside it. But I said that to say this, we got up a grant from the state. I'm on the Alabama Aviation Council. We meet once a month in Montgomery. And I work with Frank Farmer, who's the head of DOT. He took Mr. Egerton. I don't know if y'all knew him's place a couple of years ago. Worked with Egerton a long time. Worked with Frank. He come up with matching funds of $250,000. And once I got on that board in Montgomery for the Alabama Aviation Council, Frank was there to present us what the state was going to be able to do for local airports in the state of Alabama. And there's over 70 airports in the state of Alabama. 6 or 7 of them are your big municipal international airports. The rest of them, 62 or some odd, are smaller airports, general aviation airports. And out of that 62, we rate somewhere in the top 5 of that. We're real proud of that with what's going on with what they do in development. But what I said the DOT, Frank Farmer, I had him up here Tuesday and showed him the site, and I've been talking with him about it, about what we wanted to do. Had lunch at the EDA office for him. Had Steve Livingston there, our legislator in the Senate, and had Corey and had Chris there, had Nathan there, had who else we had there? I think that's about it, myself. And we fed them dinner, and we went out to the site, and I had them two there so they could answer questions that I couldn't answer. So got Frank to say what I was talking about. Frank Farmer was that once I got on that board, 250 is all they'd come up with on matching funds for a grant or a hangar or whatever. I got him to get that up to 500,000, trying to get it up to $1 million now. We're close on getting that, but I was heavily involved in that. Talked to him, probably to his, tired of me talking to him about it. We finally got it. So we've got him. If the city comes up with 500,000, Frank's going to match it with 500,000. I've talked with EDA. At first, when I done this, I thought it was going to be somewhere around $1.6 million. So I've talked to EDA, and I think they're going to be, I'm pretty sure, 99.5% sure they're going to come up with 300,000. I know y'all got some EDA money, and this is an economic development project. We're here to add jobs. We're here to grow our airport. Our airport, y'all know when I come in here to get that seal coating for the tar man, that I, told you how much, and Bill knows this, and all of you do, I think, knows how much that the airport does for the county as much as it does for the city. I know they call it Scottsboro Airport, but I call it Scottsboro Jackson County Airport. Bill's always been real helpful to listen to. So, long story short, that's the synopsis of why I'm here. And I'm a pop. I got a plane out there. I'm paying y'all $900 in taxes a month just to park it out there. I don't know if that goes to the county or the city or both of it, but I've done that. I've been a pilot 49 years. I've always had a plane here, and it's gone up steadily. But I've got different airplanes, so this was a little bit more expensive airplane than I used to have. But what we're trying to do And while I've got Corey here too, we have a need for a corporate hangar. This will kill two birds with one stone. This will give Corey what he's been talking to me about. And what he's talking to me about, he's already got signed letters from 3 companies that have put either King Airs or Learjets in there, and he can get 3 in there. That would get you probably around $18,000 a year in tax revenue for them being here like I paid for my little plane, 800. So that's a plus. Am I right, Corey?
Yeah, and also all local Jackson County.
And yeah, right. And so that with Chris going down across from my hangar, my new hangar, we're talking about putting in 10,000 square feet. Also a 3,200 square foot, is it 3,200 square foot office we're talking about? That plus the next, I give him extra 2,000 and then with a 3,200 square foot office, which half of that can be used for the power plant. When Chris takes off an engine, he sends it everywhere to come back as he's doing the annual on our plane if the engine's out of time and then put it on. He wants to be able to do that in-house and he can. And what else was we talking about? Aviation, avionics. That's a part of an airplane that he does anyway in the small space that he does, but it ties him up. I mean, the avionics is the expensive. I had to carry mine to Lafayette that I wanted Chris to do, but he just didn't have the room, had the capability to do it. So with that 3,200 foot office, he can do the avionics part of the business too. That's more employees. That's more employees to build the engine. That's 10,000 square foot working room. There's more employees to take on more business that he can do. That he couldn't do with the employees he's got, but he's going to hire more, and he's already put 3 on anticipate. That's about what I wanted to say. And if you want to ask me some questions that if I can't answer it, I brought them too with me. So I'll open up the floor for questions right now before I tell you the amount I'm trying to get.
Just for curiosity, the folks that you hire, how do they get paid?
So we have salary and hourly employees. It kind of depends on their position. Our entry level are all hourly. So we take guys typically from the SNE community college that come straight out of their A&P program. They usually have to work with us for at least 6 months before they can get licensed. If they're not already licensed through SNE. If they don't have any schooling, it takes 30 months to get licensed. Once they're licensed, they come up in hourly. And then once they get their inspector's authorization, then they go on salary. So our typical hourly rate is between $35 and $40 an hour. And then our inspectors are $90,000 to $95,000 a year.
Just a little more information. The estimated cost, $2.1 million.
Yeah.
And
And the way I come up with that, Chris and I did, is another building that's been built in Coleman. And they just got the bid in on it. And when I was going after that 1.6, after all the meeting was over and everything, Chris called me up and said that bid coming in at 2.1. Same exact thing we're doing. But there's something that the city can do for us, and that's move the dirt. And that's a big project, and that might save us $100,000 or $200,000. But the thing that I've come up with 1.6, but when I was at the EDA meeting in Fairhope, and that's what these meetings are good for, I come up on Kenneth Boswell. Y'all know him. He's with ADECA, and he gave a speech, and I listened to it. And a lot of times when they get up there for an hour or two, I'm about half out of sleep. But I listened to him because he got talking about grants and how to get them and how to come to him. So after the meeting was over, I was walking down toward the lobby at Fairhope at Fort Clear, and the weather was 100 degrees. And it was hot. I walked up behind him. I said, "Mr. Boswell." He turned around and said, "Yes, sir." I said, "I'm Rudder Williams, give him my card." I said, "I'd like to talk to you a minute, but let's go inside the lobby where it's cool, So we went in the lobby and everything, and I said, "I like what you said about grants, and as long as it was something you was interested in and it would help your people that where you're at, job wise, I'm interested in." So I went on through the whole spiel. I just went with y'all. And he said, and he knows our mayor. And he said, get up what money you need. Have your mayor call me. I just got off the phone with him. I said, well, I'll do that. Do that. I said, I don't know what need any, but we will. So basically what he's saying is he'd take care of what I couldn't raise. And I told him I had 1.6, but I don't have 1.6 in my hand yet. I need 30,000 from y'all, and I need 30,000 from ADA. And I got $1 million coming from the state. What did I say, 30? Yeah, but I mean, I need 30 in the city, in the EDA need 300,000. But I'm not asking for my 30, I just want the 300,000. But, yeah, if I get 300 from y'all, 300 from EDA, that's 600,000. But get city debt, and I think this is gonna happen, they're gonna approve 500,000 because the state DOT will match it, that's $1 million. A DECA, I don't know if we can use their money or not. We gotta cut that up to show that it's not the matching funds to the city, because if it is, the state can't overlap. So we're working on that to see if this what we're doing with y'all and what we're doing with the EDA, that's the match, and then a DECA could jump in there, we'd have 2 more. That's my fun. I don't have all that wrote down, so I'm sorry I slipped up on 30,000. Bill was about to prove that, and it's nowhere. But anyway, that's what we're asking for. And I stand here, I'll answer any question that I can.
I'll make one comment. When we put together the county plan, one of the strengths that was listed in the county plan was our airport here in Scottsboro. And the point that was made by when they put that together, having a well-run and growing airport will be important for the future of economic development in Jackson County. So just to comment.
With the guy that put that together, called me, Tucson, I think's his name. Called me and asked me that he had to do that. Would I show him the airport? I spent 4.5 hours with him. And he loved our airport. And he put that in y'all's report. That's where my 30,000 come in. I knew it'd come in somewhere. But I'm willing to waive that, to get this 300 for the
Let me ask if there's any other questions.
The airport, Scottsboro Airport serves the whole county, as far as economically. We got Stevenson Airport, but there's not a lot of interest in it. I mean, they don't have a beacon, they don't have lights.
They don't have an approach.
They don't have an approach. They need trees cut. Flown in both airports many times. Scottsboro has a real nice airport. It is our beacon for the county. For anybody that needs to visit the county, it's the only place they're going to fly into. So.
Any other questions?
Just observation. There's a lot of if and thens that you mentioned in this presentation. So when would you need a commitment from us, and when would you?
Well, if I don't get the commitment, I can't get the commitment from everybody else. If one of you say I'll commit when everybody else does, if we commit it all together, it's a done deal. If we got one hanging out there that's not going to commit, then it's not a done deal.
So what do you have a commitment from?
I got a commitment from the state DOT for 500,000. I got a commitment from the mayor and the city council is meeting, and I'll go before them. And if I don't get a commitment out of them, the 500,000, I've got a commitment off of the state. It's not going to happen. Okay. But everybody that I've talked to, I talk before I go to meetings.
Sure.
To see, what the temperature is. And the temperature looks good for that. Who would the city, and I'm not saying y'all wouldn't be against it, who would be against this? I mean, this is a program that we're getting funded, through a grant from the city that the city don't have to pay back. We're getting a grant from the state that is funding the city. That then the 600,000 is already, we've got it. We've got 300 at the EDA for workforce development. I'm sure y'all got some through that you've got that's for workforce development. Not only is this going to be workforce development, it's going to bring funds
into the county and into the city. It's gonna bring high-paying jobs into the county and into the city. And it's gonna bring 3 aircraft in, it's gonna bring you $18,000 a year, just those three, not counting all the other aircraft that are sitting out there. Our airport is far and above way, I told you, it's in the top 5 out of 62. It's got LED lighting, and we got a $500,000 grant to put in. When I'm flying at night and I hit that button 7 times and them lights come on, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, baby could land here at night seeing that. We've got a new overlay that I got from Shelby before he got $840,000. At that time, the state couldn't provide that. We do that on a 90-10. We come up with 5, and the state was supposed to come up with 5. They couldn't. I come before the county commission. They come up with 5. 5% of $40,000 of $800,000 is 40,000. Tell me if my math ain't right. So I mean, they've always tried to help and improve. The county commission, we put a turnaround on the north end of the runway, and that's runway 4, that was going to cost us $250,000. That ended up costing $90,000 more. I come to the county on that, and they provided, I think, 90% of that. That's back when Mike was filling in for chairman. So I mean, the county has always come up with what we've asked for, because they know it benefits the county and the city and the people that live in the county. Now, this is a little bit more than the 90,000 and the 20,000 and the 30 that I come up with. It's just 300,000, but it will pay its dividend back way before it's ever due.
Okay.
I'll entertain another one if y'all got.
As I understand it, although Aeronautics has committed you 500,000, the city is committing 500,000.
See, and yet he's got to get approved. All right. But if they don't, I won't come after y'all.
What you're asking us to do is commit 300,000. If it doesn't come through, we're not paying you anything, but if you get the full commitment, you're asking us for a commitment to share.
Exactly.
Do a share of this.
100% true. 100%.
So just a quick question, you talked about tax money coming in, does the county get any of that tax money?
Could have more than that for planes that sit in the hangar.
What about bill sales? Do
y'all?
y'all get, I know when I sent business, I think I sent the county 4 cents a gallon for every gallon sold in car gas. I don't know if y'all get aviation gas.
Okay.
What about sales tax?
You do,
We don't need sales tax.
Sales tax.
but you do get gas when it's on the state. We see those jets are gonna fuel up here.
The 18,000 would be the county's share of the taxes paid on that aircraft.
Not counting the gas sales.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, what I'm asking for, 100% right. I'm asking for a commitment to $300,000. If these things don't go through like, you asked, AJ, yeah.
Well,
But if everybody's sitting around waiting on a commitment,
I understand. I just want to clarification on that.
and I'm glad you asked it. It's a good question, and we got it. It's clear right now to everybody what I'm asking for.
One thing I'd like to make clear, I guess, to the public is we're sitting here talking about this because, roads is always a hot topic in the way we spend money. So I just like to clarify for the public's view of the money in this fund and the intention of what we can and cannot spend this fund money for.
You cannot spend this money on roads. This money is set aside.
That's right. That's my
Earmarked for industrial development and economic.
And Chris, that's a good question. I get calls sometimes after they've heard I've got a grant. Well, we need that. You're putting $840,000 on the airport road, on the airport bumper. We need that in road. Those grants are totally separate. Anything we get for airport, that's for airport use on.
I understand. I just want to make it clear, for the public viewing, as we get questions about our paving programs and roads and things, that we have certain funds that we can't spend certain monies for, and that this money has to be allocated for industrial development, and this would fall in line with industrial
Same
development.
thing when I'm trying to get funded. I can't get funded for hangars through the federal government, but buying property and redoing the runway, I can get that through the federal on a 90-10 grant.
sometimes it's just good to make the public aware
Yeah,
of funds.
because you'll get asked sometimes, why can't we get that money, for Cracker Barrel? It's not, it's not sorted for that.
Well, one thing I'm curious about, you're talking about creating jobs and business opportunities with this new hangar. What does that look like as far as revenue generation for tax money?
Chris? Well, what portion does the county get? I guess that was my question. With sales tax, did the sales tax pay the zero? Okay.
The money that it creates jobs. People that work here spend most of their money here. So that's where that comes out. And what he's offering is high paying jobs, career jobs. And we're working with Dr. Campbell to try to get some type of apprentice program set up through the college to come down and work with Chris. So I mean, this is just so great for young
We talked
people.
about that in the past. So your SNEED state students, they're here till they get their certification and they go wherever, or do they
They
stay?
stay with us. Matter of fact, I just promoted two in the last 6 months to inspector status. They've been with us 4 years. So I have two guys that came from SNEED, graduated SNEED, and are now making 90 grand, 95 grand a year working with us as inspectors.
Well, kind of my take, this industrial development fund is for industrial development. The airport is instrumental to industrial development. This hangar will create jobs and more opportunities for citizens, and to have jobs and to have more aviation business in this county. So, and Mr. Williams is part of the industrial development board, so he's come with his blessing to spend industrial money on this project. So, yeah, it sounds like it's a well-earned investment way to spend money to me.
What I call a win-win situation. A win-win-win situation.
Let me ask you, you need a commitment from us tonight.
I need the commitment, not the money. Unless you just want to write a check, I'd keep it. But I just need a commitment saying, 300,000. If he gets his other commitments, if he don't, then this is null and void. But I'll come up with money. I'll come up with it through a deck, I'll come up with it, from somebody.
Okay. Any other questions? To do that, we need to set aside the rules and conduct a vote.
Okay.
So do I have a motion to set aside the rules?
Motion.
We have a motion, to have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Do I have a motion to commit $300,000 out of our Fund 20, Economic Development Fund, in support of the Scottsboro Municipal Airport Hangar Project, contingent on funding contingent on other commitments from the other parties.
Entities.
Sound that fair?
Yes.
We have a motion, have a second.
I'll second.
Have a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carried. So you have our commitments.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, both.
Thanks, sir.
We got to do some stuff at our, what he's got.
That did not include that 30,000, by the way.
Oh, okay. I told you I'd waive that if I get a commitment. But y'all understand what I'm talking about, the commitment. That's very important. I appreciate you. I was in business in 40 years. And when I went to the bank, I had to have a commitment before they could go let me drive the truck off.
We appreciate what you do.
Yeah.
Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Next item is, turn over to Sheriff Farman. It is regarding MOU for health care insurance services.
Yes, the good thing is this is free. We like it free.
We'll take it.
This is the company, this health credit care, has come to us, and there are many jails throughout the state, throughout the country. And basically what they do is they offer a middleman for insurance companies that insure people that don't have insurance, basically under Affordable Care Act. So when an inmate is arrested, that is a life-changing event, and they can qualify to apply for basically free coverage. Now, where that saves us money, number one, they're going to give us the program. They're going to take care of paying for the connection to our system. They're going to give us the software and the hardware for inmates to see a video, 4-minute video. And then our only problem we're going to have is our jail corrections deputies are going to have to fill out a form for them. And it'll get submitted if they get approved. If they qualify for this insurance and they don't have it, then they will get a card on the first of next month. And that card will be used when they get out of jail, but it also can be used to save us money when we have out-of-pocket expenses for these inmates, when they go to the hospital. And Southern Health Partners only pays so much a year. Y'all pay so much a year and then for their contract. And then after they go over that, you have to pay that extra money. So this would take away from that money that we're spending every year for inmate care. And they claim it could be several hundreds of thousands of dollars that we could save. I don't know that for a fact, but they claim that most jails our size are saving that kind of money. So we're asking for a MOU to be signed by the commission, and of course I'll sign it too, but to allow them to come into our jail and to provide this service where they sign the people up, and then they have insurance carriers that provide the coverage with no cost to us. Any questions?
Yeah, so this is an opt-in for the inmate.
Yes, they're not required to. They can deny it, but it's kind of one of the deals where our employees need to sell it. I mean, this is free for you. So if you sign up for it, when you get out of jail in a month or 2 days, you've got an insurance card. So if you get sick, here, guess what? You don't have to pay for your doctor care.
And again, you may or may not know this. I mean, if they have a pre-existing plan, is this something that would override that or go beside, or?
I don't think
they're eligible for it?
Yeah, I don't think they're eligible if they have a plan already, but as we all know, most of them don't.
Yeah, I would think you'd have a lot of folks that would be eligible for this.
So one other note in here, once an inmate is convicted, they will qualify for himself.
That's correct. If they're convicted and go to prison, then they will be picked up by the state, obviously.
When did you need to make a decision on this?
They're just waiting on the MOU to go farther. So whenever y'all choose to do it. Any other questions?
So you need us to set aside you?
It'd be great. I could let them know once we get it signed and they could start implementing the program.
Question in this?
I mean, from a
I was viewed it, and as Sheriff says, it doesn't cost the county any money. And it could potentially save substantial amounts that the county would be otherwise be responsible. If it's not covered by Southern Health Partners, be supplement to that.
We would continue to use it help to the extent of what they can cover, and then this picks up beyond that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. It would just minimize some of the costs they have. And I know y'all pay up to so much under their contract, and then you have to pay extra every year, is my understanding. And this would help eliminate that.
So our insurance would be opt out first, and then this would kick in, or
I think any place that would take this,
that will become the
it
primary.
would become the primary. That's my understanding.
Okay.
That's why they're in contract.
Yes. No, when they get out. This is a card that'll be printed off and given to them, and now they have insurance.
Let me ask, do we want to set aside groups?
I make a motion, we set aside rule.
We have a motion to set aside group. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Do I have a motion to approve signing memorandum of understanding between Health Credit Care Insurance Services and Jackson County Commission and Sheriff's Office?
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Next item is solid waste, request to surplus the garbage truck.
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners. Place some ink on it. Did a few, Share the picture. Here's a breakdown. I'm requesting tonight that we, y'all surplus a garbage truck. It's a 2018 Freightliner M2106. We no longer are using this truck. We just got the most recent truck that y'all approved here last month, and it is in rotation. So the new truck is replacing this one. I provided y'all some information. We ordered it, the commission did, May 30th, 2017, and it went into service in January 2018. It cost us $247,000 then. Several major repairs that I want to bring to y'all's attention. We had to rebuild the engine, January 2024. That costed $29,973.06. We had to rebuild the transmission, February 21st in 2023. That costed $16,158.28. And then other upkeep costs, as of 2023, we got $9,000. So before 2023, we wasn't keeping track of this stuff, but we are now. We spend money on a truck. We're keeping it tied to the truck so we can keep up with this. This is a older truck, but really don't know what we can get out of it. I've reached out to J.M. Wood and Gov Deals to see if there's a truck compared to it, to see what we can get. If we get $40,000 out of it, I think we'll be doing good.
Any question?
I'm thinking about it. Do you need this as a backup?
No, sir. We have two backup trucks now since that new truck. So, be honest with you, I want to get this truck gone because every time it hits the road, we're sinking money into it.
Have we reached out to any municipalities that offer service in the county and see if they have any interest in?
Only the one that I know in the county would be Scottsboro, and I mean, I can reach out to them.
Stevenson, Bridgeport?
They don't have sidearms, do they? Last I checked, they had rear winders. Yeah. But I can. Stacy knows we got or want to sell. He ain't offering.
Why the engine go out so quickly? 2024. I mean, it's a fairly low mileage truck.
Yeah.
You know the cause of that?
I don't. This is one, this is one reason that I push us keeping trucks in warranty for things like this. Right now, we're on a 7-year rotation. We're going to be able to get one truck a year roughly. So these trucks are going to be about 7 years, and you can look at it. Once it hits that 5-year mark, 6-year mark, that's when it really starts costing us money.
Put it on new business next week.
Sir.
Thank you. The last item in our work session is, I will update on strip paving program. Information false.
Thank you, Chairman. We had just delved into this briefly at last meeting, I guess, and as I mentioned at that time, we are at the point where we're really just trying to decide a direction, a need of direction on what we'd like to do next. Just kind of as a quick summary on where we are and what's left to do. The original strip pavement plan was replaced with hot mix strip pavement. So that mileage was essentially reduced in half due to material cost differences. So we are, have rotated through some of your districts for that initial part. So then if we consider the additional revenue interest earned from the bond, there's additional 200,000 there that we expect another couple miles from. So if we've made it to you with that initial 3/4, which we have 3 and 2, then we still owe you that in 4 and 1 plus a decision on that 200,000, how we'd like that divided up. And then we want to help you as far as road selection. So in the short list or in the review of conditions of road, if you don't feel good about lengths or roads or choices, we want to help you with that. So just leave it there.
Okay. As have the commissioners talked to you yet about roads that they're interested in selecting?
Yes, I think at least most everyone has their choice. It's just the distance and how much it's.
So with the 200,000, how much, what's the distance we can get out of that?
So that would be 2 miles. So, you know, another half per district if it's even, or there was some discussion I know about how you guys would like that to see that distributed. So
We did have a meeting, it's been over a year ago, that we had a discussion about miles per district and how many miles were in each district. And we made some allocation based on that. District 4 is 108 miles, District 3, 316 miles, District 2, 308 miles, District 1, 259 miles. When we did the allocation that time, we did it sort of based upon a percentage of miles in the district. Prior to that, we've been basically splitting 1/4 per district. So I don't know whether we want to stick with what we did before in terms of allocation. That would be, by the way, as I do the time, 991 miles and the share per district. 11% for 4, 32% for 3, 31% for 2, and 26% for 1. I just put that out. That was the discussion we had when we had the last work session on roads. So how, any discussion on how to allocate? I will make this comment. When you start dividing up 2 miles and do 11%, 32%, whatever, it gets to be a little choppy, seems to me. For this 2 miles, we may this one time want to allocate it by quarters, 1/4 of half a mile for each district. But that's just my thoughts. I'll throw it back.
If I may, I'm over here 11%, so I'm trying to be optimistic, but if you look at everybody, even though I have the least amount of road miles wise, with that many miles paved, we're talking about 2 miles, 1/4 of that each. It's not like everybody up here's got at least that need. I mean, I don't think 11% is going to do a whole lot for this.
I would be for just divided up 1/4 each,
Okay,
divided 4 ways.
so half a mile per allocation. I do propose that and I talked to Jonathan about this, we need to have I think it's time we have another sit down on how we look forward. We've got the safe streets and roads allocation of money to that, rebuild and federal aid exchange. And as we look forward, that takes, Jonathan, I think that takes a good chunk of what we get in rebuild and federal aid exchange over the next 4 years to meet our matching requirement for that program. So the question we need, I think what we need to look into is, are there other sources of funding that we can use, and how do we use it? Do we use it in a road program like we've been doing, or do we concentrate on split paving for a while? But I think getting together and having a sit down discussion about how we move forward with that. And I don't know if everybody's available on the 26th. That's the day after our next commission meeting, but and I would propose again, we meet over Public Works so we can pull the data out and sit down and have a discussion. and do it in the evening.
I can do that. What time do you think?
AJ,
Let me just see if I'm available at all.
Tuesday, the 26th.
We have our board meeting at 4:30. So
The 25th.
25th is when I'm talking about my job.
Oh,
Yeah, so to be safe, it would be 6:15 before I could get over, so that may not.
26. 26.
What about Thursday?
Yeah, let's look at that.
And then what time can you possibly get here?
On what day?
Any day, I mean.
Oh, I'm good with, I can be here.
well, we have a budget meeting on the 27th. That's going to be pretty much an all-day meeting. But we could go into that discussion at the conclusion of the budget meeting. 4:30, 27th.
That would be easier than 26th.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
27th.
After-
After budget.
If you want to meet here, you're gonna make,
We can come to you if it helps.
I'm sorry,
We can come to you if you're
Okay.
there, if it helps.
If we're gonna do budget.
Chris,
I think 27 would be okay.
27th, 4:30,
all right,
okay,
yes.
all right, so we'll do that. So the agreement is, half a mile per.
Half a mile, So we'll still have, mile and a quarter for two of you and then half a mile for the two remaining. And we have planned on Mr. Gully's district next, or District 4, and then we'll swing back around and finish up those remaining portions, if that sounds agreeable to everyone.
Okay,
So does that mean we can go into it? We can go ahead and do mile and a quarter?
Yes, sir.
yes, okay.
Thank you.
All right, that's the last item in our work session for tonight. So with that, reports from the staff. And I'll remind everybody the 27th, the meeting. And everybody that can attend, because we would like to lot the budget.
At one time.
We start at 8:30. And, so we'll do that. We should have all the state rates in, and, what you'll get is what we understand those impacts. County engineer, anything? Okay.
Bill,
County attorney, yes.
real quick, what time do you think those meetings will, the budget meetings will end? Will there be a space between budget and
No problem.
about what time do you think? I'm trying to schedule something else from there too.
Yeah. What we'd like to do is, as soon as we get through with one, we'll move right into the next one. But if you wanted to, I'd say 2:30.
Okay.
2:30. If we accelerate through this. The last meeting we had, some of the folks came in and it lasted 15 minutes.
Right.
Okay. So we'll have an on-call list. It goes longer than that, but it's good.
Right.
Sheriff, anything? Anything? Ross? Okay with that,
I
comments?
do have one reminder. Next board meeting, the next commission meeting, we'll have two public hearings at 4:30. We'll have I think we'll have the approval or the public hearing for the solid waste plan at 4:30, beginning at 4:30, and the public hearing regarding Grace Chapel Road vacation immediately thereafter. Sorry, it's 4:30 next week.
Thanks, Sean.
Yes.
Comments from commission, District 1, Commissioner Laurel.
It's great to see young people being promoted up to the sheriff's office and taking leadership roles. I feel like the airport is a good thing for the county, and it's probably going to be money well spent. And hope that we can get some good return on our investment from that. And glad to be able to work in cooperation with the city and do things to move us all in a forward direction.
District 2, Commissioner Kendall.
I spent some at the boat race at this pond. Enjoyed that time with many people from all over the county, not just Scottsboro, so Scottsboro Park County. But the main thing I wanted to say is our sheriff had our new boat out there. We were glad to share that information because some people are asking what that boat was, so we were glad to get the news out.
District 3, Commissioner Bowe.
I don't have anything else to add.
District 4, Commissioner McBride.
As usual, I'd just like to thank our employees for all the hard work they put in. I'd also like to say, very few times have I had an opportunity to work with like-minded individuals, and we're able to sit down and put differences aside and do what's best for our county. And it's just an honor to work with you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I would like just to comment on the dragon boat race, and a lot of folks, I think there were probably several thousand folks out there enjoying that, and participants, they had 29 teams participating, all day event, and it turned out really well. But what was really great about it was a fundraising activity that helps with Nourish One Child and gets food to children who are have issues that they may not have food over a weekend without what was done with that program. So it was great to see the contribution and the money raised for that. And I believe also for the hospital foundation, the money raised for that. And foundations putting money back into ambulance services and other capabilities in the hospital. With that, our next meeting is August the 25th, and we start at 4:30 at public hearings. So do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Motion? Second. Have a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye.